Bonjour, Guten Tag, Hola, hello. Wow, it's great to see you all. I see some old friends, and I see some new friends. I'm honored that you all accepted the invitation to my birthday party. I love parties. You look like you're waiting for me to say a few words. Well, okay. Just yesterday I was... No, I think I should start earlier than yesterday. At my beginning, really. I'm very proud of my beginning and of my history. I was born out of the ideas and inspiration of many people. There were people from the International Project on Communication Aids for the Speech Impaired, the Trace Center, the Bliss Symbolics Communication Institute, and the Ontario Crippled Children's Center. They got together to start my journey. They talked on the telephone and wrote letters. There wasn't much technology in those days. Soon there were lots of people from all over the world who wanted to change things for people who did not speak. All these people came together for 2 big conferences in Toronto. These were called the non-speech conferences. That was way back in 1980 and 1982. I wasn't even born yet. My journey began to happen when some of them met in Toronto to plan my birth. Look, you may recognize some people that were there. What an exciting time that was. I was born on May 19th, 1983 in East Lansing, Michigan. There were people from 8 different countries there. Look, here's my my incorporation certificate. Many of my proud parents are here today, and they're still very important to me. They named me Isaac. It describes all of me. International, Society for Augmentative and Alternative Communication. I love my name and I'm so proud of it. My name represents everyone all over the world who uses and teaches and learns and advocates for augmentative and alternative communication. My proud parents knew that people who use AAC had to be part of everything we did. They knew it was important to be international. They knew it was important to include many different disciplines. They knew that there were people in every country in the world who needed AAC, so developing countries was very important. We've grown from 8 countries to more than 50 countries represented here to celebrate my 25th birthday. Shirley MacNaughton was my first parent. They called her president and decided that she would take me to Boston in 1984 for my first birthday party. What a party it was. It was held at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It was a time to add more friends and more ideas, and to really get Isaac and AAC moving. We decided to celebrate in a different country every 2 years. Imagine that. These are some of the people who organized my parties over the years. I should tell you some of the exciting places where I've had my birthdays and who my parent, your president, was at each celebration. Better yet, come with me and I'll show you some of the places where we celebrated at conferences. Shirley MacNaughton took me to Cardiff, Wales. She was our president for a long time, and I owe her a lot for wonderful parenting during those years. Thanks, Shirley. We had fun there with the first Isaac Talent Show. Who could forget the wonderful songs written by the Canadians? Carolyn Musselwhite clogging, the Scandinavian dancers, or Bob John and George, what were they doing? Come, we're off to the most amazing place for adults and kids. After Cardiff, Shirley passed me to Gunnar Fogelberg, who took me to Disneyland in Anaheim, California in 1988. We started with a different kind of AAC, a mime. It was so clever to tell a story with no words. More and more people came from all over the world, and of course Mickey Mouse joined us. Gunnar passed me to Penny Parnes. She took me to Stockholm, Sweden in 1990. We had a party at the Nobel Hall. Penny and I were nervous and excited to be there. Look, here are some of the organizers and speakers at the very first two-day Developing Countries meetings. After the conference, they had the very first Isaac Research Seminar. There were more than 100 people who attended. Wow, look at all of them. Just like at all my birthday parties, there are lots of new friends and old friends. Maybe you know some of these people. People who use AAC kept the family together and showed us the way. They are now always represented on the executive committee. They share their good ideas, and their voice is always heard. We have a special lecture at every conference called the Words Plus Consumer Lecture. This presentation is always inspiring and thought-provoking. It's one of my favorite things to do at the conference. I always go early to get a good seat. Maybe I gave away a secret. During all these years, there were lots of other things going on. The family stayed in touch by starting the Isaac Bulletin in 1984. It helped to share ideas and get people communicating with each other. We started a very important journal in 1985, which was named after me. It's called AAC. Lots of people helped to put these publications together. Some of the first were David Yoder and Lyle Lloyd. In 1987, the Isaac Secretariat office started in Toronto. The Secretariat tracks the members worldwide and helps the people who are organizing conferences and helps the executive committee get their work done. We've had lots of other ways to share ideas and keep in touch. Communication Outlook, Communicating Together, Communication Matters, the Membership Directory, and many others, as you can see. More recently, Nola Millen takes care of the Isaac Information Exchange. Wow! Now we have some books written by people who use AAC. These books are some of my favorites. The stories are so inspiring. I love to reread them. I also love to give them as presents. The celebrations every 2 years continued, with our president, Arlene Kratt, bringing us together in Philadelphia, USA in 1992. We made history there with more than 1,000 people attending the conference. People came from 24 countries and from 6 continents, and that's not all. This was also the first time that we had courses before the conference so people could learn more. Guess what we did again in Philly? We had a fun talent show. Lots of people took part. I'm still trying to learn to clog. In 1993, it was my 10th birthday. I got a birthday greeting from Stephen Hawking, the famous scientist and author in England who uses AAC. He said,
I would like to send my congratulations to Isaac on this anniversary. I suppose I may be the best known user of augmentative communications. I certainly wouldn't have been able to carry on my scientific work and write and deliver popular books and lectures without it. I hope that Isaac can continue to foster the development of better and faster communications and help spread them to the many people who desperately need them.
And that is just what we continue to do. A special card was designed to celebrate my 10th birthday. It shows graphic symbols from many countries and cultures, and reminds us all that there are many ways to communicate. In 1994, President Margita Lundman took us back across the ocean to Maastricht in the Netherlands. There was even an Isaac celebration song for the occasion. It was translated into bliss symbols, too. In 1996, President Betty Jean Finlay brought me to beautiful British Columbia in Canada. The weather was great. The scenery was amazing. We even had drummers to welcome us to Vancouver. We had a great party that year in a fabulous science museum. It was at this conference that we made the decision to have an executive director to help us with our mission. President Sarah Blackstone took us all to Dublin, Ireland in 1998. What a great conference we had in the famous Trinity College. The theme was putting the pieces together. There were old friends and new friends, and we had fun learning together and singing and dancing and enjoying a pint or two of good Irish beer. You know, between these conference celebrations, everyone worked hard to bring new ideas, new people, and new presents. Take a look at some of the communication devices that were invented and developed over the years. Some of the early ones are fun to look at. They remind us how far communication technology has come. At first, families started to make alphabet and word boards to help their kids. Some early communication boards looked like these. Then came bliss symbolics, and people started to work together in many countries. Shirley MacNaughton, Judy Wine, and the team in Toronto started this work. Bliss symbolics spread internationally with books, articles, and workshops. Creative people from all over developed some simple, effective communication devices. Engineers started to make things that used typewriters and other mechanical machines that could be used by people who could push buttons directly. They were big and heavy. Then they began making machines that used switches and scanning. They were slow and didn't have speech output, and you had to plug them in. Eventually, they figured out how to make these machines small enough to move around, and they started to use batteries. That wasn't so long ago when you think about it. Later, some of the devices got speech output. It was so hard to understand them most of the time. They sounded like robots from the moon. Today, technology has come a long way. Now there are new products all the time that are portable, accessible, and they're even starting to look good and sound good. More like me. Aren't you amazed at how far we've come? I'm excited to tell you that during my 25 years, my family has grown and I have relatives all around the world. Look, here they are. Wow, look at them all. What an international society we are. Some of my family come from countries that have formed chapters. All these chapters are part of me. They help me to grow. They teach me new things. They introduce new friends to me. We're just one big family. In 2000, President Prue Fuller brought us back together in Washington, USA. The conference was very inspiring, with lots of new presenters and papers. What a beautiful historic city, and we even had a chance to go to the Smithsonian Institute to a party just for us. Susan Belandon from Australia led the Isaac family to Denmark in 2002. We went to Odense, the home of Hans Christian Andersen. A lot of characters from his fairy tales entertained us at the opening ceremonies. The conference center had a large open bird cage, which showed us all that we could fly free with communication. The theme of that conference was wonderful communication, and that is exactly what it was. In 2004, we tried something really different. Philippe Lanka brought us all to sunny Brazil. We learned a lot, and shared a lot, and we had a wonderful time. It was the first time that we had celebrated that close to the equator. I loved the hot sun, the sandy beaches, the big ocean waves. We worked hard and still had time to learn the new dances, to ride on dune buggies, to try swinging into the water, and we got to learn about the favorite local foods and drinks. Just 2 years ago, in 2006, we were in Dusseldorf, Germany. Martine Smith brought us there, and we had a special time celebrating my 23rd birthday. As always at my parties, there were new and old friends from so many different countries. The Isaac chapter of Germany planned an excellent conference with interesting pre-conference seminars, an inspiring research seminar after the conference, and lots of fun during the conference. We've all been so lucky. Each time people plan a celebration for me, they organize such an educational and fun conference for all of you. 2006 was also the year that we were granted NGO Special Consultative Status with the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations. This means that Isaac is able to attend international conferences on disability that are organized by the UN and help to influence policy of governments around the world on meeting the needs of persons who cannot speak. So many people have helped me along the way, and so during my celebrations, we don't sing happy birthday, but we do give out awards. We have awards for writing, for special people. The president gets to give an award. We have consumer awards, and we even have Isaac Fellows, and that's funny because lots of them are girls, not fellows. There are so many clever, hard-working, creative people in our family. I always feel so happy and thankful for them. Each one is a very special Isaac member. We even have a group of people who are called my friends and who have helped to raise me over the years. One of the new traditions at the celebrations is a silent auction. My friends organized this. Helping us to celebrate my 25th birthday in Montreal is our president, Sudha Kaul. I can't tell you how excited I was when everyone decided to make this a special celebration for 25 years. Ann Sutton and Jeff Riley led the team. They knew how special it would be for me and for you to celebrate my 25th here in Canada. Thanks for having us. I'm a quarter century old. I'm not a baby anymore. I'm older than some of you, but younger than lots of you. Getting this old wasn't all easy, you know. In my early years, I was lonely, so chapters were started. In my teenage years, I needed more help and direction, so I was guided by your first executive director, Nancy Christie, who helped me and my chapters. I remember the values of 25 years ago. Involvement of people who use AAC, international views, developing countries, and perspectives from many different disciplines. We still have those same values. I'm getting older, stronger, and wiser. I always have new friends and family members from so many different countries. Thanks to all of you. We came here to celebrate, so let's celebrate. Let's do what we do best. Let's learn, let's share, let's have fun, and let's communicate.